Well, we'll start out. Since we did the last episode, we lost the legend. Gene Hackman died. Mike, I know you were a big Gene Hackman fan. You
love Gene Hackman.
Loved Danny, were you a Gene Hackman? Everybody was a Gene Hackman fan, right? Everybody was a Gene Hackman fan?
Didn't see French Connection, but, Hoosiers.
Hoosiers was great.
Didn't see French Connection?
No. Got to see that.
Oh, turn in your man card.
My favorite, I always say Bonnie and Clyde was my favorite of Gene Hackman's
Really?
movie. Yeah, I thought it was a great movie. Bonnie and Clyde, but not Unforgiven. Unforgiven is a great movie. The Conversation. How about No Way Out with him and Kevin Costner? That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Crimson Tide with Denzel, Mississippi Burning.
Yeah.
It was just in a bunch of great movies. Supposedly, Jack Nicholson turned that role down though in Hoosiers. They offered it to Jack Nicholson first, and he turned it.
Be a different movie, but
it'd be a different movie.
Gene Hackman's a natural for it.
Gene Hackman was great. He's what made it so good. But it's with a lesser actor, it wouldn't have been as good a movie.
Did he win anything for that?
No, he didn't for Hoosiers. I don't even know if he may have been nominated.
French Connection, he won,
and Unforgiven.
And Unforgiven, yeah.
He actually said something at his acceptance speech for the French Connection. He was such a humble guy. He said something to the effect like, "I think the award should go to the car." The car that he's driving under the L, smashing the car up.
That's funny. That's hilarious that he said that. The French Connection was great. All those movies. It's amazing how many. And there's a movie called The Royal Tenenbaums, which is a comedy, and he is great in it. It's hilarious.
He was fantastic in that.
Didn't see
it. Great movie.
The movie is hilarious. Birdcage.
What's that?
Birdcage.
Birdcage.
Birdcage is
that
funny.
Was right.
Robin Williams.
Royal Tenenbaums had
Ben Stiller, Gwyneth Paltrow, Bill Murray has a small part in it. Danny Glover, Angelica Houston. Just really funny movie, and he
just a really off the wall kind of like that Budapest Hotel. It had that kind of
it's crazy about him and his
flavor to it. But he was
great.
He was really good at it.
Yeah.
How old is that movie?
Oh, it's probably 20 years old by now. I guess.
20,
time goes so fast. It's probably 20. Yeah, it's great. Royal Tenenbaums. It could be. Every time goes so fast. It could be. But how about the way he died? His wife died a week before him, and he had Alzheimer's. So
that was my first guess. Actually, is that she? My first guess was actually that she killed herself, and then he just couldn't deal.
Yeah, but apparently he was out of it. I guess with the Alzheimer's, and they said he might not even realize she was dead. Maybe.
That's what it seems like. He was out of it and couldn't take care of himself.
Yeah, but he died like a week later.
That's
unbelievable.
A painful way to think of it.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about, and then they didn't find him for another week or so after he died. I'm waiting on when I die. It might be 6 months before anybody finds me. If I drop dead in my house, that'll be hilarious. The fireman will have to break the door down to get me out. That'll be hilarious. What a closer. I'm going out with the greatest closer ever.
Do you think for that week he's looking at her going, "Man, you're being rude"? Like, what?
For the last time.
Yeah.
I told you this silent treatment doesn't work.
Can I get that sandwich? Or?
So I guess the laundry's not going to get done today?
Oh, my God.
You can leave them dishes in the sink all you want. I'm not cleaning them.
Nate Borgens has a routine that he does about his aunt was 9 years old until they discovered she was deaf. And
my God.
This is back in the day. And he goes, when doctors used to smoke in your face. and he goes, she was 9. They didn't know she was deaf.
That's amazing.
And part of the bit is he says, the one doctor said something like, I'll tell you what, she's pretty rude.
Oh, my God.
9 years. Well, you're right. Back in the day, the doctors they didn't care. Like you say, you could smoke. They didn't.
Right.
It was like they would barely even look at. Yeah, you look okay. 9 years old.
My son never listened. Like when he was a baby and toddler, never listened to me. So I actually did when he was in the kitchen. I dropped a lid to a pot behind him.
Just to see if he wasn't dead.
He jumped just to make sure. Turns out he was just a rude kid. Yeah. But that's what I did to see if that was my test. It seems like, you think a parent before they're 9 would test something.
Right.
Just clap
But
behind them or something.
it was different way back. People didn't even go to doctors. Like my mother would tell me stories that nobody went to a doctor for anything. Somebody could be seriously sick, and they'd have them in bed, like giving them soup. Nobody went to a doctor.
Yeah. I can remember being in a doctor's office, and this is way back in the day. I'll be 70 in October, right? Smoking in the waiting room in the doctor's office.
They used to let you smoke in the waiting room.
Those ashtrays on the stands.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
People would smoke. Guys would smoke when they were waiting for their wives in labor. The wife would be in labor, and they'd be out having a cigar or a cigarette out in the waiting room waiting for her.
Take a look at the 70s game shows. If you ever see them again.
Oh, my God.
The smoke is just floating
match
in the
game?
air. Yeah, Match Game is the one I was thinking of, where you can actually just see the smoke floating above.
The old Johnny Carson reruns with the cigarettes. Yeah, absolutely. And talking about nobody going to doctors, the old actress Jean Harlow, who died, I guess it was back in the 1930s, she had like a simple kidney infection or something. And of course, back in those days, nobody went to doctors or anything. So finally, she was in so much pain, they took her to a hospital, but she ended up dying. And she was only like 27 years old or something.
My gosh.
No shit. Yeah. 27?
Yeah, but back then nobody went to doctors. But I think I'm going to have the Gene Hackman death. I'm going to be laying there for a while before anybody, before the neighbors start calling up.
Well, let's set something up.
Complaining about that rancid smell.
Let's get an alarm for you or something.
You need not just that, but you need a shovel buddy to get all the porn out of your house before your family gets there.
Now, thankfully, all the porn nowadays is on the computer, so you don't need a shovel buddy anymore. But that'll be hilarious if they break it down and say the mediocre comedian found dead in Mayfair. God, we don't know how long he was laying there. Oh, that'll be hilarious.
Comedy train.